I want to slurp it. I want to swallow it. Ooh, I want to gargle with it.
You're doing it.
That will also be me if the Broncos ever beat the Chiefs again.
I'm fighting myself, and myself is winning.
And I am also Mike McDaniel, fighting myself every week in these power rankings, and myself does indeed win. It happened. The cursed #1 spot in the power rankings took down the 49ers. This wheel took down the Colts, so the curse is stronger than ever. I will spin this wheel after I rank the top 10 best NFL teams for Week 7 to see who gets the curse, but before we hit the top 10, let's ascend straight into heaven. Every week I place a team or player or whatever in heaven for some healing, and this week it's quarterbacks Anthony Richardson and Justin Fields again. You're back, Justin. We learned on Sunday that Colts electrifying rookie QB Anthony Richardson is mulling over season-ending shoulder surgery. Justin Fields dislocated his thumb, and we're waiting to see if there's ligament damage there. Look, this sucks. This really sucks because Fields and Richardson were two quarterbacks I was just really excited to watch play all season. And now we might be waiting until 2024. In purgatory, I've got the entire AFC North. That's right. I know, the Browns gave the 49ers the shocker, and they did it with PJ Walker, but I feel like when Watson returns, the Browns will just be worse for some reason. Luckily, Cleveland has 3 winnable games coming up against the Colts, the Seahawks, and the Cards. All of the teams in this division are winning because of defense, including the Bengals, and until I see one of you score real touchdowns consistently, Ravens, I can't tell who is actually good. Don't get me wrong, I love great defense, I really do, but not 4 in the same fucking division. Somebody throw some damn TDs or you'll be damned here forever. Joe Burrow, 7 passing TDs, Lamar Jackson and Kenny Pickett tied for 5, and then Watson sitting there at 4. Thank God none of your last name is Wilson, because everybody would be crucifying you. And in hell, I've got the Chargers. Not only did the Chargers lose on Monday Night Football, but their best fan was accused of being an actress. A plant by Hollywood to sell us on the idea that the Chargers have fans. I am not opposed to fan actors, I'm really not, but damn, this is a dumb conspiracy. Furthermore, the Chargers can't even have fans correctly according to the internet. They lost, Herbert missed some gimme throws, and the next day we try and take away the one bright spot from them? Let the Chargers have it. Just let them have that. Just like I am totally willing to let the Chargers have the #1 spot in this terrible stat about losing 3-point games. Look how sad the AFC West is at finishing games. Today's episode is sponsored by manscaped.com/goodsports and the Lawnmower 4.0. 4.0? Get out of here, 4.0. I got the Lawnmower 5.0. 5 is better than 4. 5 is better than 4. 5 is better. I'm just kidding. The 4 was great. The 4 was great. This is just an empty box. Don't worry. I would never do that to Manscaped. But the 5.0 is here. And what does that mean for your pubes? Bye-bye. They gone. Because the 5.0 has something crazy about it, all right? They've taken grooming precision to a whole new level with their next-gen dual skin-safe blade heads, now accompanied by an upgraded trimmer blade and interchangeable foil blade for enhanced performance. The foil blades allow you to get utterly bare. Just imagine those are my testicles. You can easily swap out the trimmer blade for the foil blade in this dual system to get you the exact trim session you desire with ease. It has a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, a bigger LED light, travel lock, and yes, it's also waterproof. Again, use my link in the description below, manscaped.com/goodsports, to join 9 million men worldwide, 18 testicles if you want to look at that way, who trust Manscaped. It's 20% off with my link and free international shipping. Per tradition, the Packers and Steelers were on a bye, so they are not considered for the rankings, and guess what? I wouldn't have considered them anyway. Number 11, teams knocking on the door to get into the top 10? Nobody. You all sucked this week. Number 10, I've got the Buffalo Bills. Oh boy, I've dropped the Bills all the way down to 10 after a really disgusting Sunday night win against Tyrod Taylor and the Giants. It took the Bills an uncalled hold and some of the worst clock management known to man to beat the New York Football Giants. Can we call them football giants? But somewhere Scott Norwood can take a step closer to exiting the cave he's lived in since the 90s. As weird as it sounds, with Miami at full mast and the Jets breathing down their necks, that felt like a really important game for the Bills. And despite a ton of injuries and some weird shit going on, they still managed to get the win. And they all count the same. Dorian Williams and Terrell Bernard have played well in the absence of Matt Milano, and once the offense gets Dalton Kincaid healthy, they should move the ball at a better clip. Stephon Diggs is second in receptions and third in receiving yards right now. Number 9, the Browns. Haha, tricked ya. Tricked ya. Screw it. Here you go, Cleveland. I put you in. You've got the best defense in the league right now. The best defense since maybe the 2015 Broncos. That's right. Just 4 passing TDs allowed. Best in the league, as are all of these following stats. 51% completions allowed by that defense. 607 passing yards, or 121.4 passing yards per game, and 27 first downs. That's it. Myles Garrett is dominating the edge. The defense has 91 pressures this season, and you maintained all of those dumb stats after playing arguably the best offense in the NFL, not named after a sea creature. There's a lot of season left, but if this sustains, you could actually possibly win a Super Bowl with PJ Walker. Number 8, the Cowboys. Would the Cowboys lose to the Browns? Yeah, but they beat LA on Monday Night Football. Some people think Justin Herbert is clutch in the fourth quarter. Some people like me don't think he really is. Here's a stat that supports that he isn't. Numbers can lie if you use them correctly. But these fourth quarter comeback stats, one has him lumped here with Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. So I don't trust that. I don't trust that shit at all. Maybe just win a playoff game, Justin, and force me to say you're elite like Mahomes and Brady did, but until then, you're not. So Dallas won the Kellen Moore off, but the Cowboys became the umpteenth team to fail on the tush push.
They didn't push my tush enough.
Bring me in, Dak. I'll come and I'll push that tush. I will. Here's some advice. Just start running normal quarterback sneaks again. Okay? Fuck, I'm about to use a Nick Wright stat to back me up. Philly turned an 80% successful play, the QB sneak, into a 98% successful play. And as the copycat league tries to copy them, we're seeing the sneak as a 40% successful play. Tom Brady ran 158 quarterback sneaks without a tush push. He had a 91.9% success rate. If you don't have Jason Kelce or a top 5 O-line, just mimic what one of the least athletic players in NFL history did from the QB sneak. Now, the Eagles are the only team on earth who can actually run the tush push. I know some people want to call it the brotherly shove, but if you've ever met a fan from Philly, you know that is way too polite. It would be brotherly shove it up your ass and break it off in there and leave it. Leave it until you learn to stop being such a piece of shit. Number 7, I got the Rams. Seeing the success that both the Rams and the Lions are having made me realize that the Stafford-Goff trade might go down as the biggest win-win trade in NFL history. The Rams got a Super Bowl in year 1, while the Lions built their roster via the fuck those picks and got their own franchise QB in Jared Goff. The Rams built their 2023 secondary out of a bunch of players you've never heard of, but those nobodies have allowed just 4 passing touchdowns through the first 6 games of the season. It felt like the Rams offense was holding the team back early this season, but with the return of Cooper Kupp, that's changing. And more importantly, if Kyren Williams continues on the month he's had, over 300 yards and 3 rushing TDs, LA is a very well-balanced team. Kyren is now tied with David Montgomery and Kenneth Walker for 3rd most rushing TDs on the season. Number 6, the Eagles. The Eagles were probably the least impressive 5-0 team I've ever seen. So actually, I'm going to give this to the Jets. The Jets are 6, and if the curse wheel hits 6, it actually still curses the Eagles. Are the Jets better than the Eagles? Yeah, they literally just beat them. That's how fickle these power rankings can be. Plus, I want to see Craig Carton do more of this if the Jets keep winning.
I want to enjoy it. I want to take it in. I want to breathe it. I want to slurp it. I want to swallow it. I want to gargle with it.
You're doing it.
Number 5, I've got the Carolina Hurricanes, a week into the NHL season, and you've got more wins than the Carolina Panthers. I would normally give the Chiefs the spot here at 5, but I don't like them. And I'm not going to acknowledge them until they have 17 straight wins against the Broncos. Because until you got 17, you ain't done shit, Kansas City. And to honor the local team, we've got a message from Bryce Young.
With great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great...
Number 4, the Jags. The Jags, they went to London boys and they came back men. Men who love tea and think about saving the king every time they hear the national anthem. Traitors? Sure, but they're a damn good football team now. They beat the Falcons, they beat the Bills, and then the Colts in consecutive weeks to climb out of a 1-2 hole. Their rookie first-round pick, Anton Harrison, lined up at tackle against Indy and gave up 0 sacks and 0 pressures in 35 pass-blocking snaps. Jacksonville's defense is the big story, though, forcing a league-high 15 turnovers in the first 6 games of the season. Corner Darius Williams has gone 257 coverage snaps without allowing a TD. That's the most for any corner in the NFL, and I think we got to give defensive coordinator Mike Caldwell some love. Yeah, that's right. He was a linebacker in the NFL. He played for Bill Belichick as a Cleveland Brown. He was the linebackers coach for that nasty Buccaneers defense between 2019 and 2021 when we were all gushing about Devin White and Levante David, the guys he was coaching, and I think he's a huge reason the Jags are... Number 3, the 49ers. The Browns forced the Niners into unfamiliar territory, and on Sunday, San Francisco did not pass the test. They lost Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey. Their rookie third-round kicker missed a pair of field goals, including the potential game winner. Most alarmingly, Brock Purdy actually looked pedestrian when he wasn't playing with the lead. Of course, anyone is going to look worse when you remove 3 of your 4 best players on offense, but Purdy had a chance to silence a lot of doubters and instead got caught in a very ugly quarterback duel with P.J. Walker. It was like a duel, but where they keep shooting and missing each other. Nobody dies. That game might not have been an outlier, though, because Kyle Shanahan is just 1-9 against Jim Schwartz-led defenses. If I'm Schwartz, I'm quitting. Yes, straight up quitting the NFL as a coach and starting a freelance consulting business, charging $1 million a week to teams playing against a Shanahan offense.
And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Number 2, the Lions. And damn it, I respect Penei Sewell for trying to get his hands on one of those creamsicle jerseys.
Let me get that.
This?
Let me get that.
I gotta keep this one. This is the creamsicle.
Just looking at them, my Penei might have soiled them. Now, according to Brett Coleman, the Lions' offense averaged 1.8 yards per carry against the Bucs and still controlled the ball for 36 minutes on the road. That's really a Jared Goff stat. And as a leader of the Goffense, he deserves a lot more credit than he's getting. Goff is currently 5th in yards per game, 3rd in passer rating, 4th in QBR, and 3rd in net yards per attempt. And I mean this without any caveats. The way Goff is playing right now, I think he's the best quarterback in the league currently. Doesn't have the weapons that the Dolphins or 49ers have necessarily, but still has the most 20-plus yard completions. Only Stroud and Purdy have fewer picks than his 3. Same amount of passing touchdowns as Mahomes right now. 2nd highest completion percentage. Did I already say that? The one thing that gives me pause, get it, Lions, is the injury to David Montgomery, who had become their bell cow back and is about to miss some time with the rib cartilage injury. Fortunately, Dan Campbell, this is exactly why you draft running backs in the 1st round, baby. And after seeing these AI images of the Lions fans, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, I am all in. AI stands for all in. And number 1, I've got the Dolphins. Maybe the biggest turning point I saw on Sunday was Tyreek Hill going to the locker room. That would have been an absolute game changer for Miami. Turns out he was fine. And it's hard to understate how important that is. Hill is the leader right now in receiving yards, and it's not by a little. A.J. Brown is 2nd with 627. Hill has 814 through 6 games. That accounts for over a quarter of the team's yards at 2,992, which is an NFL record through 6 games. The 2013 Broncos piled up 7,313 yards in 16 games. And the Dolphins, if you cut the season season by a game are on pace for 7,987 yards, obliterating that number. Tua, however, will not break Peyton Manning's passing yards record for a single season at this current pace, even accounting for that extra game, which makes me feel good. Also, Miami has the most big plays this year, if you couldn't have guessed that on your own. All right, here we are. We're gonna curse somebody, curse a team. Let's see who gets freaking cursed. Let's see what you got, Curse Wheel. I believe in you again. You've restored my faith in horrible things happening. Just terrible, terrible shit every week. Number 10. The Bills, no! No! Why would you do that to them? You fuck, you little... Sorry, Buffalo. Sorry. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports! Uh-oh, stay tuned next week. In a moment of rage, I've accidentally broken the curse wheel. Uh-oh. Did I break the curse for the Bills? Did I break the curse for the Bills? If the Bills win the Super Bowl, we're coming back to this moment, okay? Well, it still works. I'm not buying a new one. This is the guy. I'll fix it. I'm a man.